This is my 1981 Pontiac FIREBIRD that I got for absolutely free. All I had to do was fix another car. And today, we're getting it one step closer to making it look like this.
Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange.
So if you don't want to miss this transformation, make sure you subscribe. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to continue on with getting the other side all finished up. So we're going to work on getting this rear axle out of here. This is a 8.5 10 bolt with the 28 spline axles in it. It says it's rated to hold up to 400 to 450 horsepower. I don't know exactly what numbers I'm going to go for, but for now, it'll work. So I'm going to get it out here so I can get it all cleaned up and then get it painted. All right, let's get this thing off here. All right, so we got the rear differential out, so now we need to work on getting it cleaned up. And in case you guys didn't notice yet, the Ranger is actually gone. I got that sold to free up some space and get some money because I want to get some subframe connectors. And on the rear leaf springs, I actually want to change over to a Calvert Racing split mono leaf spring. So anyway, let's get this rear differential all stripped down, get the leaf springs off here and the brake lines and everything so we can get it all cleaned up, and then we can get it shot with some of the Eastwood Rust Encapsulator Plus. So all right, let's get started. All right, so when I pulled off the drum, I was able to see in here that this all looks brand new. Somebody obviously put a new brake kit on here and stuff. And I'm almost wondering if this axle is new too, because of the fact that a lot of that's still super, you know, silver looking. Yes, there's a little bit of surface rust on it, but there's no way that these axles are from 1981. So somebody may have beefed this up. On the bottom of the diff, there's a big G on here. I don't know if anybody knows what that means, but anyway. When I looked it up, these axles are able to handle, like I said, 400 to 450 horsepower. So for now, I'm just going to stick with all this, drums in the back, but down the road, I think I'm going to do an upgrade to discs in the back as well. But the fact that all this is brand new and everything, we'll go with this for now. So anyway, so let's get this all cleaned up, and then we'll start getting all the rust and stuff cleaned off. All right, let's do it. All right, so I got the rear axle all stripped down and everything. So the next thing is to get it all sandblasted off, but it's getting a little late, so I'm going to do it tomorrow morning. So we'll see you guys in a second. All right, so it's the next day. We're going to jump right back into it. I already got the sandblaster out, and I already went ahead and put plugs in the wheel cylinders so that I don't get sand in there. So I'm going to get my protective stuff on and get right into it. All right, let's get this thing cleaned up. All right, so got the axle all cleaned up. Now I need to get the mess all cleaned up, and then we'll get back at it. All right, give me a second. All right, and just like that, it's like it never even happened. I got all the sand and everything cleaned up, so now I need to come in here and get some paper or something laid down so when I go to spray it doesn't get all over the concrete and the wall and stuff. And when I was sandblasting it, I didn't focus as much on the drums. I just wanted to get the majority of it off there because, like I said, I'm going to upgrade that to disc brakes. I just wanted to really get the axle clean so that the paint, or the rust encapsulator anyway, will really adhere to it good and be good. So anyways, all right, well, let's get this paper down. We'll get a shot with some paint. All right, let's do it. All right, so we're ready to get this thing sprayed. Let's do it. All right, so I got this side all shot with some paint. I need to let that dry so I can flip it over and then get the spot where the jack stands are at. So anyways, I'm not going to film that. You guys already saw me paint this side. So let's move over onto the car and do something else. All right, let's go. All right, so now we're going to move on to getting the subframe actually mounted back to the car. And I went ahead and got all new body bushings for it. I went with polyurethane. I chose the black one just because I don't want a bunch of random red all over the car. So anyways, we got the polyurethane bushings. We need to get those in. And then once we get it into place to get it aligned perfectly, there's a little trick that I found out. And that is that these alignment holes on the frame right here that the factory used to line it up when they were sending it down the assembly line has matching alignment holes right here in the bottom of the frame. There's one on that side and then one on this side. This one's an elongated hole. But anyway, the trick is if you get a 7/16 socket, it actually fits perfectly in here, that it actually will stay nice and tight. It won't fall out. And then it fits just as snugly in the one on the frame too. So that gets you a perfect alignment on it so that you know that the frame is perfectly straight with the car. It's not cockeyed one way or the other. So you'll be able to line the car really well. So anyways, let's get these bushings on here and then we'll get it installed. All right, let's do it. So I got it jacked up here. Now I'm going to get the back bolts started, not tightened down, but just started so it holds it in place. And then I get the front one jacked up a little bit and then get it aligned with the socket. So we get the bolts all started in here. Okay, got that one started. Get the one over on the driver's side started. Got that one on. Jacked up and close into place. Get the bolts started in those ones. Get these these ones snugged up just a little bit. Not tight, but just close. Just right before it starts to touch. Okay, so now I'm going to take my 7/16 socket. You have to use one that's straight-sided. You can't use a tapered one because it won't reach far enough up to align with the second hole with the thickness of the bushing. So make sure you use a 7/16 smooth sidewall one. I got this one from O'Reilly's. It's their Power Torque brand, and it's the 1/4 inch drive. So we'll line this up in here. It goes up perfectly in the lower hole, and as long as it's 100% lined up, it'll go up into the hole, and then you get it aligned. Then you can pull it out, go check the other side, and as long as they both line up perfectly, then you can go ahead and tighten it down. So anyways, I already checked that side and this side, so now I'm gonna get it tightened down and everything. So all right, let's do it. And the torque specs on this is 85 foot-pounds. All right, so we got the front subframe all mounted up and torqued down to spec. We're still waiting on the rear axle to dry, so I'm gonna paint the other side. But I need to get this thing made into a roller so I can eventually get it inside so we can get it painted. So I got brand new upper and lower tubular control arms for it, coilovers, adjustable coilovers, as well as I got C5, C6 Corvette 2-inch drop spindles for it that take a hub style bearing rather than the old style. So, all right, well, let's get these things out and get them mounted up. All right, so we got the upper and the lower control arms on and the adjustable coilovers. Before anybody says I should have went with QA1, I wanted to, but they're really expensive. I did email them to see if they wanted to sponsor the video and send me out some parts, but I haven't heard back. If I do hear from them in the future, you better believe I'll be changing over to QA1. But eventually I would like to, whether they sponsor it or not. So next we're gonna get the spindles mounted up. I went ahead and ordered some C5 to C7 2-inch drop spindles to put on here, and I also ordered up some Detroit axle C7 hubs for it. That way you don't have the ABS wire on the back. So, all right, well, let's get these spindles on here and then we'll get the hubs mounted up. here, ready to install them. These are Detroit axle ones. The part number on them is K513378, and they are for a C7 Corvette Z06, so they don't have the ABS sensor on the back. I also, since they don't come with bolts, was able to get some bolts from O'Reilly's, or the Dorman brand, and their part number is 917503. So you can get the bolts, and they come with the thread locker on them and everything. So anyways, all right, well, let's get these things installed. I'm gonna get them on here, get them bolted in place. The torque specs for these bolts are 96 foot-pounds, so you can get them all torqued up. We'll get the bolts in, and we'll get them torqued down. Got my torque wrench already set to 96 foot-pounds. All right, and that's one hub installed. Let's get the other one done. All right, so we got the C7 hubs and stuff all bolted in, and I'm sure you guys noticed that this is still moving, and it's because I haven't put the shims back in here yet. I don't want to use the ones that were in it because they're all rusty, so I ordered some new ones for it. But I'll go ahead and put the same amount of shims that were in it before back in it, get it real close, and then once I get the engine and everything in it, I'll be able to take it in and get it aligned, and they'll fine tune it. Speaking of engine though, eventually this car is going to need some serious power. I'd love to put an LT4 in it, but by the time you buy a complete LT4 setup, you're talking crazy money, like 30 grand territory. So I've got another idea, an LSA out of a wrecked CTSV. Even a wrecked CTSV isn't cheap though. I'm probably going to have to spend around $8,000 to $12,000 just to buy a donor car. But if I can get one, I'll pull the LSA and the transmission out for the Firebird, part everything else out, and try to get some of that money back. So here's where I need your guys' help. Let's see if we can get this video to 10,000 likes. If you guys absolutely blow these Firebird videos up, every dollar from these videos gets me one step closer to buying that wrecked CTSV and putting that LSA in the Freebird. And if I can make the LSA happen, I don't want to just drop it in there and call it good. I want the engine bay and the engine itself to match the rest of the car. White with black accents, just like the exterior. Something along the lines of this.
Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. Your check as I'm chess, what's happening next?
I think that would look absolutely killer under the hood of this thing, and because more engagement helps the video reach more people, and more views equals more revenue, which helps fund the build. So if you guys want to see a supercharged LSA under the hood of this thing, smash that like button. And here's a sneak peek of what I was thinking of doing in the interior.
I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life life, and I won't look back ever again.
So the next thing would be to get the steering linkage and the steering box and all that stuff hooked up, and the brakes and whatnot, but I don't have those parts yet. They're on order, and I gotta wait a while for them to come. I do have the new radiator core support. It just came yesterday, but if I mount that up and then start mounting other front end parts on, when I do get the linkage and the steering box and the brakes and all that, it's going to be a lot harder for you guys to see when I'm putting all that stuff on. So I'm actually going to wait on that. So what I'm actually going to do is transition a little bit over to my 67 Coronet over here. We're going to go over and get it uncovered, and I'm going to show you kind of what the next steps are on that while we're waiting on parts for the Firebird. So let's go over to the Coronet and check it out. All right, so this is my 1967 Dodge Coronet 440. The last episodes that I did on it, I was rebuilding the front end, like the inner fender supports, and rebuilt the engine and stuff like that. So if you guys haven't seen those episodes, go back and watch them after this one so you can be up to date on this one. So anyways, I'm gonna bring it in here and show you kind of where we left off. I got the engine and everything installed. There's plastic off of here. Okay, so we got it all uncovered now. So I left off, I'd gotten it in and everything, but I hadn't finished bolting up the bell housing, and the torque converter bolts are just kind of in there. Anyway, I can do probably the next episode with a little bit on this vehicle because I'm still waiting on parts on the Firebird, but I still need to get the engine bolted in the rest of the way, get the accessories on and get it all wired up and everything so I can break in the new cam because it has a brand new Mother Thumper cam in it and it has not been broken in yet. So when I go to do that, in the last episode that I did on, I was talking, or the one that I did the rebuild on the engine, I had talked about how I'm going to pull the intake manifold back off, put in you know, more of the break-in lube on the cam so that it has a good chance, then fill it up with the diesel oil so that it has really high zinc content, so I don't wipe out the cam while I'm breaking in. So on the next episode we'll be able to get this engine and stuff hopefully running, get it all done up so we can at least hear it run. And then there's a little bit of rust repair that has to be done on the inside. It's not a whole lot, but there's one spot on the rear floor pan back here in the back where this toe board is, where you see it's rusting right there, but this is all surface rust on here, but this little patch piece here needs to be redone. It goes from right here to right here and then halfway across into the transmission tunnel, so that'll need to be done on it too. I still need to order that up, but I'd like to start getting some work done on this and maybe be able to enjoy this thing and take it to some car shows too. I've come up for an idea on this one. I want to put a Hellcat engine in the thing and give it the project name of Hellhound. I did a short probably almost a year ago that I put out. If you guys haven't seen it, go look in my shorts and you'll see it. A little rendering thing that I did up, had AI help me with it. So anyway, go check it out. It was a pretty cool little short. But anyway, I want to paint it the Destroyer Gray, put the Hellcat engine in it, and call it the Hellhound. So you guys can hopefully look forward to that. But that'll be a while before I get the Hellcat engine because those are really expensive. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of a little update on this one and where we're going to be going with it. I still need to get that engine and stuff all fired up and get the cam broken in. So you guys can look forward to seeing some of that on the next episode. So I got a whole bunch of parts ordered up. I got the front steering linkage, the steering box, front brakes, all the brake lines, everything all ordered up. I also need to order the Calvert mono leaf springs for Calvert Racing mono leaf springs for the rear end and everything. I need to get the little conversion kit because this is a multi-leaf pocket setup, and I need to get the little brackets that allow you to change it over to a monoleaf without having to actually change the perch there. So I need to get those ordered up. And then for the rear brake setup, I'm also going to get those ordered up. But a lot of these parts are going to take a little while to get here, so that's why we're going to have to do some filming with the Coronet until some of these parts get here. So when the parts do get here and we're able to do more filming on the Firebird, we'll do some more on it. I know you guys want to see a bunch of this get finished up, but I'm only one guy and I don't make a lot of money, so I can't order these parts up all at once and just have them all here. I don't really have any sponsors and stuff, so if there's any companies out there that want to sponsor and help me out with any of these parts, reach out to me. But anyway, when we get the parts, we'll get back filming on the Firebird. But I hope you guys like this one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this one with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.